for part 2 of the Secret Unit tournament. Now, if you've probably already seen the first part, but if you haven't, please do so because it was interesting. So now we are in part 2, round 2 of the tournament, and also part 2. So a lot of twos. So the first matchup we have today is the Super Boxer versus the Mace Spinner. I chose a different map this time because, well, I felt like the other one was a little small, and felt like maybe you could get the better. Sorry, I'm just checking. All right. Anyway, felt like you could get the better experience here. Plus, we won't have people flying off the map, so there's no excuses on that. Now we might have people going everywhere, and it's a never-ending map. But dude, how many are we gonna have to equal to this one Super Boxer? I wonder who's gonna win. Too many. All right, 20-1 odds. Who do y'all think is gonna win, dude? Let's go. And it looks like the Super Boxer gets punted, but maybe it didn't do much. Oh my goodness! I don't know if his ability, but he just that guy just went destroyed. He's already killed a few, and there's not many left. There's still a good many left, but he got hits on him, but he's just booming them. He destroying them. Sorry, my voice is crackling. Right now, I'm still recovering, as I was saying earlier, last video. It is the same day recording, so maybe tomorrow will be better. This is probably the last recording I'm gonna make. Now I'm gonna do a part today, so you'll see a part each day unless I'm not physically possible. Now the only day you won't see one if it goes past Saturday. You might not see one until or you won't see one on Sunday, so you might not. You won't if there's a part that's left and it's supposed to come out on Sunday, it won't come out till Monday. Unless it comes out in the afternoon. Where's this guy? Oh my goodness! He got launched to the other side of the map. Oh my goodness! You know what? We're gonna do something. I'm just helping out. All right, now take control. Get him! Get him! Uh oh. Woo. Let's do it coughing. Alright, well, the Super Boxer is Victor here. That was a great matchup where the Super Boxer was just toying with the Mace Spinners and takes the victory. So we have the first winner of the first matchup in round 2, and the Super Boxer advances to the next round, to round 3. So now we have the next match up is the Skeleton Giants versus the Bomb on a Sticky. So let's see if we can find the Skeleton Giants here. Aha! Oh, let's get the super guy. Let's get that super guy out of there. We have the Skeleton Giant, and he actually faced last round. He faced the teacher where he destroyed him. He told with them and just destroyed with them and all. So we'll see what he can do against how many? What are we seeing here? 12. What can he do against 12 bombs on the sticks? We'll find out. Will he implode or will he succeed? And he frightens them away, which is actually a good thing because they'll explode when they get to you. They'll just hit you with their sticky and explode you. Now, he used his thing already, so he's probably going to get hit. I don't know. Now he's just laying on the ground. Now he uses his ability, but it only works on 3 of them, and then one of them is able to get him. Two of them. Oh my goodness! And then he's getting hit, but then it's just a one-use bomb on a stick. So once they use it once, they're done. So, and I don't even think he's that damaged. This would have to come right here. Is this guy hitting him would have to kill his. Oh, and he's gone. And that means the skeleton giant moves on, and the bomb on the stick is out. So the skeleton giant is moving on to the next round, round 3. So skeleton giant so far has not met any kind of competition, but the skeleton giant is about to face the super boxer in the next round. So stay tuned for that. That will be next episode. That will be cool. It's in the works. So, Samurai Giant. The next matchup is Samurai Giant versus the Chukonu. So let me get rid of these guys. Let me get the Samurai Giant, and then I will come for the. This is the first time we're seeing the Samurai Giant. He was not introduced in the first episode of the tournament, but we have seen the Chuko News, who basically one-shotted the witch, and or two-shotted if you want to be correct, because there was 2 of them for it to be the one witch. Now, this in terms of money, relatively isn't that much of a gap, about 200 coin gap. But let's see what happens here. And the Chuko News are putting a lot of bolts into the Samurai Giant. For some reason, he's doing this little cartwheel in the air again, and he's not really doing much. He just missed his shot. Alright, finally gets a kill. But the Chuko News, with their firepower, takes him out. And he is our first giant and another upset of the tournament. Like, this is like a real upset, because he's like what was he, the 9th seed? Wow. So the Chuko News, the 41 seed, and it's mainly, the seeds are based on price. So a really good unit could be low priced and still win. It's like the Present Elf, which we'll see later in this episode video. So the next battle is the Ball and Chain versus the Shogun. Now I don't know what to expect out of the Shogun. We haven't seen him yet, but we will now see the Shogun versus the Ball and Chain. I expect either the overwhelming amount of ball and chains will make him lose, is a 10 or not, or he will samurai slice him up. You see what I did there? Why is he over there? Oh my goodness! And he didn't even kill him. He didn't even do nothing. They're on the ground when he's doing his attacks. Oh my goodness. Do you know how many he just killed? Alright, this Shogun's gonna win this crap. Oh my god. How did he not kill him? Oh wait. It was a delayed death effect. My goodness. Shogun. That was the best battle ever, dude. Oh, that was so cool. So the Shogun wins and moves on to face the Chuko News, which will be an interesting battle. We got a lot of interesting battles coming up. Alright, the next matchup is the Artemis versus the Boxer, which I think is really, really cool. So let me get Artemis real quickly. She's like the 2nd highest on here. So this could be, this could be a one-shot here. This could be I don't know. I feel like the numbers. You know what? Let's not do it like that. Let's do a clean line. Clean lines. Up. Alright, there it is. A 12 to 1 odds. But you know Artemis has got this. Oh my goodness! Look at him. Oh no, but the boxers are getting right at her in close range, and the boxers eliminate Artemis. And I think it was mainly the numbers. Like the numbers here is what do it, because the boxers are really high damage. When they hit, they can one hit some units, and if they get on you and they hit you, it's over. So another upset. The boxers upset Artemis. That is kind of cool. So the boxer moves on, which is a really, really interesting upset. Artemis was like their top 4 seeded team. So here we go. We got the Blow Darters versus the Gatling Gunners. Man, I'm actually kind of excited for this. Let me get the Gatling Guns. Now we saw the Gatling gun earlier, and he obliterated the Banner Bears. I mean, he went boom, 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 boom. But I think this one, he got a little bit. I think he's gonna lose because wrong, wrong faction here. I think he's gonna be overwhelmed by the sheer thing of he's not gonna get out his bullets in time. Because he doesn't have the fire. He doesn't get up to speed, and as you can see, he loses in one salvo. Yeah, he didn't even get a shot off. So, easy win for the Blow Darters. Horrific loss for the Gatling gun, and the Gatling gun is eliminated from the tournament. So the Blow Darters move on to face the Boxer, which I think the Blow Darter is going to be a dark horse in this match. Because they're 45, yeah, they're low. But if you match them up versus a higher, like for example, let's say we had the highest seeded tournament player, the Super Boxer. Imagine how many Blow Darters you're going to have versus the Super Boxer. So the numbers is going to be in the Blow Dart's favor. Being lower means you get more numbers. So, think about that. Alright, so the next one we have is Thor and the Pikes. Yeah, you know, it's kind of interesting. Now, the Pikes, man, they gonna have the numbers advantage, but those got some lightning powers, and when you got lightning powers, I don't think those... I stand corrected. I think those spike pikes are gonna eliminate Thor. Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think those pikes just eliminated the 12th seeded Thor in an upset. So, stand me corrected. Those long pikes are so long, they just eliminated Thor. So now we have the Shouter versus the Tree Giant. Now, I think this is a pretty interesting matchup, only on the retrospect that, I just don't know what's gonna happen, because the Tree Giant is really, really good, but what about being him pushed back? Now, if we were on the other map, I might have said they could have pushed him off, but if all you're doing is shouting at him, don't know if that's gonna do much damage. You'd have to actually, he's not even moving him. They have to hit him, and the main power is literally irrelevant versus this giant. There's no way to blow off anybody, so they literally are just gonna sit there and literally battle. Oh my goodness! Oh, I gotta drink water. Literally, and figuratively speaking, the giant is just playing, toying. And the Tree Giant wins against the Shouters. So, the Tree Giant will face the Pikes in the next round. So, that was actually the fifth seed winning, which we haven't seen the Tree Giant. That was the first time. I forgot to mention. I have to mention the first times we see. This one, we're going to see the top secret unit in the secret unit faction, and that is the Ice Giant. This is the present elf. Now, this is going to be a problem because there's a little problem for my favorite. This little, I wouldn't know, has icy breath. And let's just say I don't think that'd be a good combo. If you can't get your freaking things out in time, and oh, thank goodness that Jarl came out in time. Oh my goodness, what do we got here? Oh my, who was in the battlefield? Something just killed this guy. I don't know who did it. And just the ray of light just came from the sky. We don't really know who did it because it's just a ball of presents that were popping out. We had monks, we had Jarls, we had some sort of light person. Well, that is a upset. Now, this is probably the only way that the Ice Giant could have got upset. Is by facing the present elf. And that isn't, it's just interesting. It is one of those things. So, I honestly think that this is going to be cool. So the next matchup is the Raptor versus the Ballooner. Now at this point, this is a pretty even matchup because it is 200 versus it's 1v1. So I think we all know where this is going to go. Yeah. The Raptor's going to win that one because they won. It's not gonna. And the Raptor wins. So I think we all knew where that one went. So the Raptor wins in the War of Nutrition. And here we go. So the Raptor is actually going to face the Present Elf. So I think the Present Elf is going to have a challenge because if the melee units, or I think the Present Elf has to not get killed. The thing about the Present Elf is even if he throws the present, if he dies before the person comes out of the present, you lose. So, yeah, that's their only weakness. Alright, so here we go. We're not getting a good unit. So the next matchup we have is the, I'm just gonna spell it because I don't know how to say it. The ULLR versus the Banshee. Now, I am so sorry, I've butchered everything. And it's just, you'll be able to see it. I butchered the name. Just bear with me. Please. Alright, so let me get the Banshee. Which I think this is going to be a pretty darn close matchup. And actually, it's going to be a 2v1. Here we go. Oh my goodness. He hit him twice. He hit them both once. And they didn't die and he lost. So, there you go. The Banshees were too strong. I think they had too much health and there was two of them. And they were lifting him up. And that is an upset. In terms of seating speaking. Based on amount. Now, if there had just been one Banshee, it might have been different. But when we had to get it about the same price to make it even, well, the Banshee wins. So the Banshee will either face the Eternal Whip from the Fantasy Evil or the Sensei. So let me get me the Sensei. And actually, the whips, where are they at? Oh, here we are. The Eternal Whips. We might actually have a interesting one right here. It's a 4v1, but he has, oh my, the range on those whips just went boom. That is so cool. It's one of my favorites. Let's go. So the Eternal Whips, not Eternal, the Infernal Whips are victorious. So that is a upset in technical terms. So that's good. That's good. And I'm also saying that's good because this is my favorite unit. Second favorite unit. But first, it's definitely the Present Elf. So the not Eternal. I keep saying Eternal. The Infernal Whip versus is gonna face the Banshee. So the next match is a fun one. We have the Tank versus the Raptor Rider. I think we all know what might happen with the possibility of the Tank winning is pretty darn high. Because, well, you'll just have to see how this match goes. I mean, I'm probably not going to be able to even get the full battle because we probably ain't going to be able to see where all the people are because it's going to be so chaotic. So let me get myself ready up. Let's go. Oh my god. That was surprising. I honestly thought that the Riders would have a tough time, but the numbers seem to have made these guys come to an end. Pretty interesting. And not as chaotic as I thought. So the Raptor Riders actually upset the Tank. Wow. Well, the Raptor Riders move on to the next round. And our next battle is going to be the Wheelbarrow Dragon versus the Cavalry. Now, this is kind of an interesting one because the Cavalry is a pretty good, skilled person. But once you put him next to the Wheelbarrow Dragon, we'll see how he does. I wonder, what did I just say? I wonder, wow, I thought the fire might hurt him, but looks like the cavalry is too much for the Wheelbarrow Dragon. So there we go. Quick battles today. So the Wheelbarrow Dragon gets eliminated and the cavalry moves on. Now, I don't know if that was an upset. It actually was an upset. Or no, it wasn't. I was looking at the thing because they both won the first round. They both played. And I had a look. Alright, next matchup is a interesting match. Blackbeard versus the Necromancer. Now, I think this is pretty darn cool. Because we have yet to see Blackbeard in action. And he's going to be facing none other than the Necromancer, who can literally one-shot most units. And not one-shot this one, but it might be a two-shot. No. And he's gonna survive? He's acting weird. But he win! No, does he win? He was red. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. You're in your death animation. But you won? Huh. Well, that was, that's interesting. Well, that was an interesting battle, and the Blackbeard loses, and the Necromancer moves on with actually, I think, a pretty good run. Pretty good battle. Alright, the next matchup is, actually, the last matchup of this round is Pharaoh versus Lady Red Jade. I think this is going to be a pretty awesome battle to see. That's what I've been saying. We haven't had a very entertaining matchup yet. Yeah, besides that last confusing one that literally made 0 sense. And we'll see what happens. Now, the numerical advantage, the numbers advantage goes to the Pharaoh, but we all know how that goes. So let's see here. Lady Red Jade sounds like a tornado kind of thing. Eliminates one of the pharaohs, eliminates another pharaoh, and is using her thing as a broom. And then the pharaoh tries to do something, but gets sliced up by Lady Red Jade, and Lady Red Jade wins and moves on to the next round. So the Pharaoh is eliminated, and Lady Red Jade. I'm gonna have to check back once I write this down. She might be the first in the top 12 to win the matchup. I might not be wrong because Blackbeard was ranked in the top 12 and he lost. Tank was in the top 12 and lost. The one I couldn't sound lost. I think. No. The Tree Giant won. The Shogun won. Super Boxer won. So there was some, but a lot of the top seeded lost. So that's kind of interesting. So I will preview our other matchups. We have the Super Boxer versus the Skeleton Giant, the Chuko Nu versus the Shogun, the Boxer versus the Blow Darter, the Pipe versus the Tree Giant, President versus the Raptor, Banshee versus the Infernal Whip, and the Raptor Rider versus Cavalry, and the Necromancer versus Lady Red Jade in round 3. And that's going to be in part 3. This is part 2. See you in part 3. Hopefully for an interesting round. And I'm so excited to see how this tournament turns out. And finding the best secret unit that you can use today. Now, I don't know. Technical speakings, a lot of these top 12 are really, really good. And, they just got matched up by their each unit has their weaknesses. Like, the best unit probably has a weakness. We don't know who the best unit's going to be. We don't know if it's going to be the logical one, like the Super Boxer. Each one has a unique weakness. We won't know. But I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the tournament. Bye.